Okay. There we go. So we're going to look at greetings. We're going to look at assistance and requests. And we're also going to look at complaints and feedback. And finally, we're going to look at English etiquette. So let's start with greetings. So these are a summary of some possible hospitality greetings. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Imperial Hotel. So we're using the Imperial Hotel as an example. Number 2, hello, how may I assist you today? Number 4, welcome. Sorry, we seem to have lost. Number 3, okay, well, number 4, welcome to the Imperial Hotel. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Number 5, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. May I help you check in? Number 6, welcome. Is this your first time at the Imperial Hotel? Okay, now let's have a look at some assistance and requests. So, when hospitality assistance, there are some vocabulary words that can help us. Assist, require, need, help, service. So here are some example sentences that use those key vocabulary words when giving assistance in the hotel. How may I be at your service? How can I help you today? What can I assist you with? Is there anything else you require? Is there anything you need? Okay, well, let's have a look at some more assistance examples. So, number 1, may I have your name, please? Number 2, could you please provide a valid ID or passport for check-in? Number 3, is there anything else you need to make your stay more comfortable, such as a wake-up call or room service? Okay, we've got some more examples here. This is number 4. Here's your room key. Our elevators are located beyond the lobby, for example. So our elevators are located, and we need to give directions to those elevators. Number 5, please feel free to contact the front desk if you have any questions or require assistance during your stay. Okay, so we've now got a requests section of the presentation. Now, making requests at a hotel. So these are requests that you may commonly hear. These polite phrases are commonly used by guests when making requests at a hotel. So they are good examples of things to listen for, or things for your staff to listen for in the hotel. Number 1, could I have some extra towels, please? Number 2, I'd like to request a wake-up call for 7 a.m. tomorrow. Number 3, is it possible to get a room with a view? Number 4, May I have a late checkout around 2 p.m? Number 5. Can you please arrange a taxi to the airport for me? So those are some very common requests that we might hear whilst working at the hotel. So we've got a continuation of this requests section, and we've got some example dialogue, okay, between a customer called Anna and the front desk of the hotel. So, Anna, I would like some extra towels, please. Front desk. Okay, madam. How many pillows would you like? Anna, I would like 3 pillows. Front desk. Can I do anything else for you today? Anna, yes. Can I get a couple of extra towels? Front desk. No problem, madam. Someone will be right up with your towels and pillows. Have a wonderful day. Okay, so Anna is extending a polite request for extra towels, and the front desk dialogue shows the employee to be as well as polite as Anna and able to help in any way in which she can to give Anna what she needs. Okay, well, let's have a look at complaints and feedback. Okay, now we all know that complaints and feedback are part of the hotel industry. Now, we're going to have a look at some examples today. Now, if we are looking after British clientele, normal etiquette dictates courteousness at all times, and this even includes when making a complaint. So it's very common to hear someone from Britain or someone from England make a complaint that is actually constructed in a very polite way. Okay, so we've got a list of vocabulary here to use. There are 2 columns here. On the left, we've got our English vocabulary, and on the right, we've got some translations of those key complaint and feedback vocabulary words. So I'm going to read through those 10 words for us. The first one, inconvenience, apologize, address, feedback, rectify, ASAP, which is an acronym for as soon as possible, dissatisfaction, criticism, discontent, disapproval. Okay, so those are some key vocabulary words for complaints. So we have a slide here that has 3 examples of complaint models on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, we've got some complaint examples that use that model. So model number 1. I'm sorry to have to say this, but... Okay, so this customer is apologizing for making the complaint. And this is actually quite a common thing for British and English people to do. So I'm sorry to have to say this, but... So the full complaint example, I'm sorry to have to say this, but the air conditioning in my room doesn't seem to be working properly. Okay, a legitimate complaint. Well, let's have a look at complaint model number 2. I'm so sorry to bother you, but... Okay, so this complaint model, it follows the same as the first. It's an apology to bother the member of staff. It's an apology before this customer makes their complaint. So let's have a look at the example. I'm sorry to bother you, but there is a strange smell coming from the bathroom. Okay, that's a legitimate complaint. Okay, well, let's have a look at number 3. The complaint model, maybe you forgot to. Okay, now this complaint model, it uses a sentence that allows, it's almost giving the member of staff the excuse for the reason why something's not right. Okay, so again, this is a very British thing. Maybe you forgot to schedule housekeeping for my room today. Now, we're going to have a look at some responses to these now, but some complaint models that are very polite and very possible to hear. So we now have the complaint examples and then some possible responses. So I'm sorry to have to say this, but the air conditioning in my room doesn't seem to be working properly. Now, the customer has said, I'm sorry to have to say this. So let's have a listen to the possible response. I am so sorry to hear this. I will contact our maintenance team immediately. They will be with you soon. So the customer has apologized for the complaint. I'm sorry. And the member of staff, the employee, has raised that apology to not just I'm sorry to hear this, but I'm so sorry to hear this. It amplifies that the member of staff is even more sorry than the customer who's complaining. Let's look at the next one. I'm sorry to bother you, but there's a strange smell coming from the bathroom. A possible response. I'm so sorry to hear this. I will send someone up to your room to investigate the cause. Okay, let's check complaint number 3. Maybe you forgot to schedule housekeeping for my room today. Please let me check. Perhaps the servicing team have yet to go to your room. So the customer in the third complaint is giving you, or the employee, the opportunity to explain that there may be a reason for the fact that their room has not been serviced. And the employee has bought some time by saying, please let me check. Perhaps the servicing team have yet to go to your room. There could be many reasons why their room wasn't serviced, and also, but of course, by asking for time in order to check, this is a good thing to do, and this is great language to help us do that. Okay, well, let's continue and have a look at a second set of complaint models. Okay, so we're going to look at some more complaint models and some more complaint examples. So number 1, I think you might have forgotten to. Again, a very polite way to start a complaint. It's giving you the opportunity to have an excuse that you may have forgotten. I think you might have forgotten to restock the toiletries in my bathroom. Okay, the toiletries as shown in the picture underneath. Well, let's have a look at complaint model number 2. Excuse me if I'm out of line, but... Okay, so what does that mean? Excuse me. So they're politely entering this complaint with that expression. Excuse me if I'm out of line. This means excuse me if I am wrong. excuse me if I am out of line, but the room I booked was supposed to have a king-size bed, and this is a double. Okay. Now, let's have a look at complaint model 3. There may have been a misunderstanding about. Again, this complaint model is giving you the opportunity to use that language in response to the complaint. They're all very polite complaint models. The example could be, there may have been a misunderstanding about the checkout time. I was informed it was at noon, but now I'm being asked to leave by 10 a.m. Okay, guys, well, we're going to have a look at possible responses to those. So I think you might have forgotten to restock the toiletries in my bathroom. Okay. Possible response. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Someone will be up to restock them very soon. Please accept our apologies. Okay, a very polite response to this polite complaint. Okay, excuse me if I'm out of line, but the room I booked was supposed to have a king-sized bed, and this is a double. Possible response. Please let me check your reservation. If we have made a mistake, we will change your room and move you accordingly. Okay, let's have a look at complaint number 3. There may have been a misunderstanding about the checkout time. I was informed it was at noon, but now I'm being asked to leave by 10 a.m. Possible response. I'm sorry if there has been any misunderstanding. You are able to keep the room until noon on your departure day. Okay, I think the implication of the third complaint is the customers are inquiring about a future checkout time, perhaps not that very day, but we can talk about the departure day as the day of the departure. Okay, well, we've got a slightly interactive moment to this presentation now. So what I'd like you to do is open up your chats if you can. The chat function, as usual, is on the screen in front of you. Now, we've got some sentences that we want to complete. Maybe you're already having a read. So we want to complete this sentence with the correct vocabulary word. The sentence being, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Someone will be up to restock them very soon. Please accept our... Okay, now on the right hand side we've got 3 possible options, and what I'd like you guys to do is to put them into the chat if you can, if you want to, if you'd like to take part. Okay, so we've got, please accept our apologies, 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 and yes, apologies. Of course it is apologies. Well done, guys. Well, let's have a look at another exercise similar to this. So again, this relates to one of the complaints that we have seen earlier. So we want to complete this sentence. Okay, and the sentence is, I'm so sorry to hear about this strange smell. I will send someone up to your room to the cause. So what do you guys think it is? Let's have a little look. We've got choices between flatten, investigate, and touch. And yes, it is B. It is investigate, of course. Okay, so I will send someone up to your room to investigate the cause. Okay, guys, well, we have one more of these. So again, I'm going to read out the sentence. You guys can have a read too while I'm doing that. We want to complete this sentence with the correct vocabulary word. So I'm so sorry to hear this about your air conditioning. I will contact our team immediately. They will be with you soon. So the options are the kitchen team, the marketing team, or the maintenance team. Of course, it is the maintenance team. Yes. Okay, good. Not even the football team. Good. Okay, so we are using some keywords there to help us complete these complaint responses. Okay, guys, well, we're going to continue. And we're going to have a little think about feedback. Now, giving feedback to a hotel when leaving. So one of the big things that we want in this day and age from our customers is good feedback. Now, it's a very easy thing to try and get. We can ask the question on the screen here to every guest that checks out and hands their key back in at the front desk. How was your stay with us? Okay, now the age that we live in, a lot of hotels, we almost pursue customers after their stay via email in order to try and get digital feedback in order to elevate the status of our hotels. But these are ways to try and get feedback from customers at that point of checkout. It's a very nice personal touch to try and get that verbal feedback. So let's have a look at some things that you might hear at that moment. How was your stay with us? Okay. I wanted to let you know that I had a great stay here. The service and amenities were excellent. Number 2, I appreciated the cleanliness and comfort of the room during my stay. Number 3, while overall it was good, there were a few minor issues in the room that I noticed, such as a flickering light and a noisy air conditioner. Okay, so feedback number 1 and feedback number 2, these are great feedback things to hear. Number 3, not so good. While overall, while in general, it was good, there were a few minor issues. Flickering light and a noisy air conditioner. Okay, but it's still feedback. Let's have a look at some more. Number 4. So how was your stay with us? I wanted to say that the breakfast served in the hotel restaurant was delicious. Number 5. I had a wonderful time at your hotel. The location was perfect. Okay. Okay, well, we're going to finish the presentation talking about English etiquette or British etiquette. Now, this is somewhat of a cliche that all English people are very well mannered, but it is true to some extent. It's a cliche for a reason, and we're going to have a look at some of the more common examples of English etiquette. Now, this is very true. Number 1, forming an orderly queue. If you have English guests in your hotel, they will form a queue quite happily, anywhere, at check-in, at breakfast time, or even to collect their luggage. They will happily queue. Okay, it's something that is true, I think. Number 2 is also very true. It's something that I do myself. Saying sorry even when it is not your fault. So people will say sorry if they bump into someone. Sorry. And normally the other person responds, sorry. Sorry. So 2 people apologizing. And this, of course, in one of those cues, if someone were to bump into each other. So this is, again, is a legitimate example of English etiquette and how sometimes it may seem a little bit of a cliche, but true. Saying please and thank you. So English people will say please and thank you repeatedly in a conversation. Yeah, this is true. For example, thank you for the coffee. Thank you. Bye. Okay, I think this is also a legitimate example of English etiquette. And here we have check-in and check-out time. Okay, so British people are generally very punctual and will check out before the designated time. Okay, I think this is a reasonable comment to make as well about English etiquette. And number 5, keep the noise to a minimum. Okay, so the majority of British people will not want to disturb other people. Okay, if someone is creating noise, then that could cause people to complain. Okay, so we're going to be finishing here. Now, the majority of people British people don't want to disturb other people. It's true. Of course, there are exceptions to this. Of course there are. But quite often, an English or British person is not keen on creating a situation. Okay, so they won't want to cause other people to complain. But this also means that some English people are not keen to complain. It means that some English people are not keen to complain. And it's also why they often complain in a very polite way. But don't be fooled. Because they don't like to complain, and because they do it politely, it doesn't mean that the complaint is not to be taken seriously. And some British people won't complain to you, but they will write a review that might not be so great. So that is something to be aware of, I think, as well. But guys, I think we are coming to the end of our conference presentation today. We've got a little bit more vocabulary to run through. So here we go. Let's have a look at some more vocabulary words that can help you with your English language and being the perfect host. So let's run through the vocabulary list. We've got amenities, housekeeping, room service, concierge, bellman, suite, keycard, complimentary, valet parking, front desk, double occupancy, late check-out. Okay, some more very helpful vocabulary for English language and being the perfect host. Okay guys, well, on this screen here we can see a summary of some Cercle de Langue articles and blogs that you guys are able to access and have a look at. There's also a list of e-learning modules there which you can find on the e-learning platform that have relevance to today's conference. Okay, so Alan, I can see that you have raised your hand. Do you have a question, sir?
Yes, just sorry for my English, it's not very well. I'm going 3 months ago in Croatia, and when we want to visit something, the hotel said you have to go to see the concierge.
Okay.
And the concierge have a computer and can give us different destination. Destination, not it's not the
It's okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Concierge. I don't know why.
Well, the English often use a concierge as a service. It's called a concierge service, and it's the concierge of a hotel that is the person that can help you out with those extra things. So if you have somewhere that you want to visit, the concierge is the person that will help you do that. And this is the way that it is used in English. And some of the more some hotels, they have a concierge service just to do that, to help their customers find restaurants and find extra activities that they want to do while they're staying on holiday. But that's what that means. Okay, Alan.
Merci.
Oh, you're
Thanks.
welcome. You're welcome. Well, guys, it was really great for you all to turn up today. This was my first conference with Cercle de Langue in this format. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. It was a great experience for me. I'll be doing a regular conferences with Cercle de Langue, so I hope I may see some of you again. But yes, it is time to say goodbye, guys. So when you are ready, you are able to leave. But thank you very much for your kind attention. See you next time.